T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10. Yeah! I was about to say there's no response. It's kind of a lackluster intro. I'm Adam. I'm one of your regular hosts. However, I don't have the hosting responsibility tonight.
Nice. I'm Tech. I, too, do not also... Wait. I don't have what? What are you trying to tell me, Adam?
I wasn't trying to tell you anything.
No, you're trying... No, I'm just kidding. I also am not the host tonight.
All right.
So,
sitting over in the big recliner tonight.
I knew that's what you were doing.
What's up? It's Jay Alvarez. I gotta really hope I'm not the host tonight. I can go find another couple of vagabonds out on the street and bring them in.
You have a good ability to pull in people from the street that just want to hop on mic.
I don't know that that's a good thing I want to brag about, but I'll take it.
Surprisingly, usually when you do that, they're talented and they want to play music and stuff for us.
Well, they come to me like a messiah.
We don't have anybody up on the screen tonight.
So that means...
sitting over on the lady chaise.
Hi, this is Andrea Joy, and I'm never doing a list again, so I can't do the list.
Well, somebody's doing the fucking
What
list.
if instead of doing a list, I expanded on one I've already done? Say a
part two?
two?
We haven't done a part 2 yet.
Hot Shots Part Ducks? Is that what we're watching? Oh, Charlie Sheen was so sexy. This is when he had the tiger blood in him.
So since Tack enjoyed it so much the first time, it's actually my very, very first list I ever did.
Ooh.
So
which
this
was
will
that?
be Strange Laws in Existence Part 2.
Oh,
Yes, that is awesome.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, sorry. So for the listeners that are new to I almost did it anyway.
Blah, blah, blah.
The listeners that are new to the Twisted 10, the Twisted 10 is a top 10 list podcast. Each week, one of our hosts that are one of the four of us you just heard, or a guest host that comes in from the outside, brings their own unique top 10 list. And as Tack would say, they put some butter on it. Then they put it in the oven. And they let it bake on a good 425 for 17 hours.
No. Let's slow bake it down to like
slow
bake
250. Let's do 250.
250 degrees.
Yeah.
And then it gets soft and moist. And then when it's served, it's fantastic. Right? Is
Crunchy
that
on the
kind of how you do
outside,
it?
soft and warm on the middle.
It's better than I do.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
I kind of like you beat the batter and then you lay it in. You bake it for 9 months at 98.6 degrees, rotate halfway for even coverage, and then in 13 years, it resents you.
Yes, but anyway, and then the list is delivered to you guys
Hot and ready.
here on our show.
I'm hot and ready, too.
Hey, before we get started, I want to throw some love over to the folks out in Texas. I know we've got some listeners in Texas.
My sister Leslie, love you, out in Katy.
Yep, damn right. We've got actually a friend of mine. His name's Ben. He lives in Corpus Christi, so right on the south end of where that hurricane hit.
Yeah.
So that Category 4 hurricane tore apart Galveston, Corpus Christi, those areas in Texas. If you know someone or you have a little bit of extra ability to give, American Red Cross is a pretty good location to give some donations to. So for our listeners, if you're able, please go out there, hook American Red Cross up with with a donation. Or if you know another charitable foundation out there, send it our way and we'll talk about it on the air. But please remember your folks out in Texas. They're suffering through some hellacious floods after that horrible storm that tore them apart. So
Indeed.
Giving our love back to Texas. All right, Miss Andrea Joy.
All right, let's just get right down to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 10.
Number
Yes.
10.
This one comes from Massachusetts. It is illegal to enjoy an alcoholic drink while standing. This is in Woburn, Massachusetts. They will simply not tolerate vertical intoxication. According to the city's license commission, no restaurant is allowed to serve an alcoholic beverage to a person who isn't seated. Patrons are not permitted to carry booze or consume it unless they're firmly planted to the chair. Exceptions are made for businesses that are granted a special approved standing license.
Wow.
That's got to be like sports
Interesting.
bars on like Sunday or something.
I was gonna say, what about at a concert when you're out watching a band in a festival setting or something
That
like
would probably that would probably be that exception.
That would be that special license.
Man, I only drink my beer standing, but I drink it with the Captain Morgan pose. So
You know, it is that, you know, Massachusetts, right? Yeah, so that's all that Boston. That's all them Irish people. It's a lot harder to fight when you're already laying down.
kind of like Conor McGregor, Irish, getting his.
Hey,
Boy,
hey,
here we
hey,
go.
man, hey,
Here
man,
we
hey.
go.
I'm look.
Oh, there they go. There they go.
I don't give a good goddamn about who won that fight. I will say though, McGregor went 10 rounds. That's like 10 rounds longer than I thought he was going to last.
I'll agree
So,
with that. I thought for sure he was going to knock out round 2 for sure.
So I will give it to him, and then we will bring Andrea and Tach back into the conversation because we're done talking about sports.
Huh? What happened?
A couple guys were arguing
I
yesterday.
think in the state of Florida it's illegal to talk about sports on a podcast called Living Vicariously because half the hosts don't know anything about sports.
Well, the
What
good thing this is
sports?
called Twisted Tens.
Is that something?
It's all right. We weren't,
God damn it!
and we weren't talking about sports anyway. We were talking about the sweet science.
If this is my show, why are we talking about sports?
Get 'em.
Right?
The sweet science. The sweet science.
I mean, get me.
Number 9.
Nueve.
Nine.
Can I say that I love It's Us hosting it because we actually have time to do this?
Yes.
All right.
This one's from Texas.
Yeehaw.
Forget the wedding. In Texas, you can be considered legally married by publicly announcing a person as your wife/husband by saying it 3 times. Beetlejuice would be proud.
No shit.
Yeah, Texas is one of the few places where common law marriage is still a thing too.
That didn't sound like common law though. That sounded like a statement.
It's not like
That-
witchcraft.
that is stalking taken to a whole other degree.
Yeah, agreed. So for example, here, if we were in Texas now and I wanted to marry Tach, all I'd have to say is Tach is my husband. Tach is my husband. Tach is my
No,
husband.
because gay marriage is still not a thing in Texas.
Not
Okay, all right.
you gotta be careful in Texas, everybody. You don't want to say that. There's too many tiki torches over there, buddy.
Gives a whole new expression to the term rawhide.
But yeah, we should.
God.
Let's.
I got a joke out of him. It was
No,
one, of my
I got
dad,
you.
one of my dad jokes that worked on Jay.
But let's be sensitive to Texas today, because they're. having
I
some-
was just planning a vacation with Adam there.
Oh yeah.
Is that why you booked those tickets? All right, now I know.
All right, number 8.
Ocho.
Number 8.
New Hampshire.
Ooh.
You can't help clean up the White Mountain National Forest without a fine. Keep this in mind if you want to help clean up the White Mountain National Forest in our state. You cannot rake the beaches, pick up litter, haul away trash, or make other changes there without a permit. Those caught violating this particular rule may be fined $150 for maintaining the national forest without a permit.
So you can't pick up
What?
trash.
You can't pick up
What if
trash.
it's your own trash?
No.
But wait,
What's
if it's
the fine to litter though?
You will be fined for maintaining the national forest without a permit.
Hold on, but how can the state issue a fine on a national forest where the state has no jurisdiction? That's why you have forest rangers. Like that's federal jurisdiction.
Dun dun dun.
Come on, New Hampshire, you guys are the first ones to get the votes in. You don't know this shit?
Isn't New Hampshire where our friend Clay from Fish Nerds
I believe.
is from? Wasn't that the state that he was from?
I think so.
Believe so.
He's
a lot of good
Yeah,
fly
because
fishing
I
out there.
asked him about the drinking law over there because I got 86 for having 2 beers. Yeah.
By the way, he listens to every episode of the Twisted Tin.
I'm
So
sure he'll be glad to
Clay
hear
from
that.
the Fish Nerds, we're giving you a shout out and a plug bell.
All right.
I like how everything I say has a whole new segment about not what I said. It's like your all's own show separate from my list. Number 7.
Number 7.
Seven.
This one's there's 2 states in it. I have Connecticut and Michigan, but it both has to do with hair, since I do hair.
Ooh, hair. Okay.
So
A hair pie.
the first
Revenge
part,
of the Nerds.
number
Sorry.
7A, is it is illegal for any beautician in Waterbury, Connecticut to whistle, hum, or sing while working on a customer.
Ooh, would you get in trouble there?
Oh, yes, my whole salon. would.
Wait, my dental hygienist hums when she's cleaning my teeth. What the fuck?
That's not a beautician.
My
though. It's
doctor
okay.
hums when he's checking my balls.
Oh.
Is that weird?
It's only weird because you have a boner when he's doing it. That's the only
And
weird
it's
part.
in his mouth too. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's an oral checkup.
That's the dumbest fucking
Once again, we're going on another tangent.
What senator's wife got a bad updo because because some hairstylist was humming. Like that's the only reason that law comes about.
Right.
You know,
It's all her fault.
it was probably something taken out of context. It could have been somebody sitting in a chair somewhere, and the beautician was behind her going, "Wait till you see my," ooh. You know, the "Wait till you see my dick" song.
What?
What?
Yeah, no, I feel
Only
like
Jay
that's
knows
I feel
that?
like that's a lawsuit, not a not a
song?
law.
It's a song from like the
Yin
late,
Yang Twins,
early 2000s.
the Whisper song. Wait till you see my dick.
Yeah,
Wait,
this
you
has
see
a lot to do with my list.
Well,
I
that's
was-
humming. That's singing while they're getting their hair done.
I was hundreds
He
of
was
people of
speculating.
the ocean back then.
He was
so I
speculating
don't
as to
know.
what song caused that law. I'm telling you, there's some senator's wife who got blue hair when she
I'm
wanted
thinking
red
so,
number
too.
2.
You know what? Let me take this. Let me restate this to one that Andrea would know. I know 7 dwarf brothers that would not appreciate that.
What?
Seriously, a Disney reference and you didn't get it?
What was it referring?
We
What was it
understand-
reference
What are you
to?
We
Yeah.
understand
I know
Snow
Snow
White.
White is.
Yeah.
Aren't they the ones that sing "Whistle While You Work"?
Oh,
But
yeah.
this is only
Ah.
for beauticians.
Well, but I know,
Oh.
but still, it's the,
See,
They're miners. They're mining. You can
Okay.
whistle and mine. That's fine.
Jay's the comedian?
yeah. Well,
Well,
we
the-
established that.
I'll start sending you my jokes, Jay, and you critique them for me and let me know if they're
Adam, you'll like 7B.
good. Okay.
This one's Michigan. Apparently, Michigan is still stuck in the dark ages, at least when it comes to what a woman can and can't do to her hair. It's illegal for a woman to cut her own mane. She has to get permission from her husband first.
Oh, God.
Wow, Maine, misogynist Maine.
What senator's wife cut her hair without his permission? Was she whistling as she did it? I think that's why this happened.
No, this isn't Michigan, not Maine.
Oh, Michigan?
She can't cut
She was
her
saying
mane.
her own mane, her hair. That's where you
Yeah.
heard mane.
Yeah, that's where I heard Maine. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, wow, misogynist Michigan then.
Wow.
That sounds like a good university mascot. Today we've got the Denver Broncos versus the Michigan Misogynists. All the cheerleaders wear thongs and micro skirts.
Goddamn right.
And they all come with spatulas and sandwiches. Sunday. Oh, this has totally come off the rails.
Do you want to move to Michigan, baby?
She doesn't cut her own hair. What do you-
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go.
Jeremy cuts my hair.
We'll go to
so-
Texas first, and then we'll live in Michigan.
It just says it's illegal for her to cut her own hair. I wonder if you can get a way around that by letting someone else cut your hair.
I would imagine that would be implied.
That's a good idea.
Number 6.
Number
6.
Six.
This is another one in Texas. It's a victim warning law. Apparently, there is an anti-crime law in Texas that states that criminals who intend on committing a crime must give their victims oral or written 24 hours advance notice.
What
yeah.
the
Not just that, but they must also include the nature of the crime. Sure, good luck with that.
What the fuck? What dumb fuck
I
fell
got
for that?
lost when he said he must give him oral. That's when I felt. I was like, that's awesome.
Excuse me, sir. I plan to rob you promptly at 12 noon tomorrow. Here is your written notification. I bid you adieu.
Does that make the robbery legal? I'm confused.
It's an anti-crime law. I guess it's to try to stop crimes from happening.
So they thought a way to intellectually curb crime in their state was to require criminals to fill out a form ahead of time.
This is the same state who said you're married if you yell it out loud 3 times.
Granted, good point. That's a very good point.
At this point, I love my sister, and I hope you guys get out of Houston safe. But I think at this point, the hurricane's just a culling.
Just start over.
Yeah, that kind of baffles me. I don't understand. I don't understand even the
It
purpose.
just sounds like another
of the
reason to
law.
bust somebody. Like, well, you robbed somebody and you didn't give written notice.
wait, who's-
And you weren't wearing red shoes on a Friday.
But hold
You're
on.
going to jail. For
Who's
that.
a criminal? Who's a criminal that got off on that stipulation? Like, hey, look, I gave the guy a note, told him I was going to rob him at noon, and yet here he was at noon with money.
That's fair.
And I don't understand. It's a victimless crime according to this victim crime law.
In some of these, I like to reverse it back to try to figure out the conception, why it was originally done. So in this case, what if it was originally written for, let's say, Jay, let's say if I stole a TV of yours, all right, and you knew it was in my house, but it's your property, but since it's now in my house, 9/10 of the law is possession, blah, 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 but it's still your property. If you write me a notice and then you break down my door to steal your property back, would you be okay then?
I think in Texas they just wanted an excuse to shoot people. If you give me a note, well, he gave me a note that said he was gonna rob me tomorrow, so I shot him dead in the head now.
Well, if you're in New Jersey, wearing a bulletproof vest while committing or attempting to commit murder is an offense because New Jersey cares more about making this a fair fight than the actual, murder.
Is that number 5? Oh, that was just a bonus?
This is a bonus one.
Just adding it while we were talking about weird things with crime.
So what was it again? If you wore...
You're not allowed to wear a bulletproof vest while committing or attempting to commit murder.
Huh. Really? I've heard bulletproof vests in some states are illegal anyway for a non...
For non-law enforcement.
Yeah.
Non-LEO, there's a lot of states that don't allow bulletproof vests.
Yep. Which is crazy.
What about
to
a
me.
bulletproof shirt or dress?
Anything Kevlar rated.
Bra?
Yeah. Anything that has a Kevlar rating of a certain amount, you cannot personally own it. I don't think Florida is one of those states. However, I have seen states that have that forbidden.
So Florida cares if we live?
I think Florida doesn't give a... Yeah, they could give two shits. They have more laws on the books about snowbirds than they do about owning Kevlar for
you
protection.
Can't parachute on a Sunday if you're pregnant and a woman.
Well, you probably shouldn't be parachuting if you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Period.
You need to.
Or is it if you're
No, there
unmarried?
is no period. If
Well,
she's
there is
pregnant.
No,
Yeah.
maybe it's just if you're unmarried. I think it's just if you're unmarried. In Florida, you can't parachute on a Sunday.
That's
It was in the first one, part
Gotcha.
1.
That was
So
a
refer
long time
back.
ago. That was about
Or a year
Jeez,
ago.
about a year ago now, huh?
Or
Episode
a
5
year
or
and a
6,
half
somewhere in
ago.
there. Maybe 7 or 8. I don't know, somewhere in there. We'll link it in the show notes if you want to hear the original top 10.
Hell yeah.
All right, break time.
Oh,
Is that the first 6? Okay.
Nice.
Or first 5? All right, well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, you'll hear more from Andrea Joy and her crazy laws that are still actually on the books in these different states. All right, listen to a little bit of DJ Gil Lugo, and we will be right back.
You're in the mix with DJ Gil Lugo.
Hey, Tech, you ever have that conversation with your girl about where to eat dinner and it always turns into that back and forth? I don't know, you pick.
yeah. Every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got an answer for you next time that comes up.
Oh yeah, we're at.
The Salty Fox in Melbourne off of Oak Alley Boulevard.
Oh, nice. I've actually been there, and the food was pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, it was. They offer a great selection of paninis, shareable appetizers, soups and salads, and one of the best desserts I've ever had, the Funky Monkey.
Oh yeah, my favorite was the vintage options. They got this meal called ramen noodle on crack. You just got to try it out.
Done. That's definitely what I'm getting next time.
Put the fun between your legs at the Salty Fox every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with the Oak Alley Arts District Bike Crawl.
It's a 4-mile bicycle ride down Pineapple Avenue with stops for food and beer all along the route. Be sure to visit the Salty Fox every Sunday for brunch from 11 to 4.
Hey, isn't that the $10 bottomless mimosas brunch?
Sure is. Enjoy your brunch while the Salty Fox's DJ spins throwbacks and top 40 hits.
Salty Fox is located in the downtown Oak Alley Art District on Oak Alley Boulevard.
Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/saltyfoxmelbourne or online at thesaltyfox.net.
Hey listeners, be sure to mention you heard about the Salty Fox on our show, and you'll get 10% off your meals.
Village Idiot Pub. You locals know about it. You guys from out of town have to check them out.
Village Idiot Pub is now a proud sponsor with Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 podcasts.
It's more than just about commercials, though. The cast here will be taking our show on the road to Village Idiot to record some episodes as well as hold events. They have over 30 beers on tap, including ciders and Hefeweizen, my favorite, as well as hundreds of bottle choices.
Adam, you forgot my favorite, all the delicious wine. So get your friends together and enjoy the board games, puzzles, and the giant Jenga.
Let the owner, Jason, as well as the rest of the staff there, take excellent care of your beer drinking needs.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
Tuesday is open mic, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is karaoke, Friday and Saturday night are live music.
Visit them at 4 Harrison Street, Suite 103, Cocoa, Florida, or Village Idiot Pub on Facebook. And don't forget, they are a dog-friendly location, so bring your friends, family, and fur babies.
it's Adam. If you enjoy the hosts or the content of The Twisted 10, be sure to check out our other show. It's called Living Podcariously. While The Twisted 10 may get crass and explicit occasionally, it holds no water to Living Podcariously. We do get a little bit more rough and raw on that show. We have a lot of fun producing it and have had some awesome guests. And as always, thanks for listening.
I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she
And welcome back to The Twisted 10. We've got Miss Andrea Joy delivering us another 10 of the laws that are still in existence that are unbelievable.
But it still doesn't count. It doesn't count as me doing a list.
Okay.
I'm still never doing one.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Deal. Do you want to recap 10 through 6 for us?
No. Number 10 was enjoying an alcoholic drink while standing in Massachusetts. Number 9 is you're considered legally married by announcing the person's name 3 times in Texas. Did I say in Texas? In
Yep.
Texas. Did I mention it was in Texas?
In Texas.
Right. And number 8 was New Hampshire, where you can't clean up the park without a permit. Number 7, you can't sing, hum, or whistle when you're doing someone's hair in Connecticut. Oh, I said Connecticut. Michigan, you have to ask your husband if you can get your hair cut. And number 6 was you have to give your victim a 24-hour written or oral notice if you're going to commit a crime against them.
I'm going to rob your house. Oral notice.
Which,
No, I made the
Okay.
joke earlier. Nobody laughed.
well, which brings us to number 5, which is
Sorry.
about oral
Cinco.
Oh, really?
Five.
5 blowjobs.
and anal.
5 dicks and mouths.
I like that. That's a good parody song.
All right. The U.S. Supreme Court has upheld your right to engage in all consensual anal and oral sex you want. But ancient anti-sodomy laws still exist in a dozen states: Alabama, Florida, Idaho, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, and Utah, according to the Human Rights
Damn,
Watch.
she's grouping them all
Also,
together.
in the Uniform Code of Military Justice,
That's
sodomy
right.
is also
Really?
illegal. Yep.
Yep.
Many of those states refer to the act as the abominable and detestable crime against nature and mention it in the same breath as bestiality, for the record.
It's the abominable.
As recently as April of this year, the Louisiana government voted against a law that would have repealed its 200-year-old ban.
Can you
Louisiana?
imagine?
Wait, you're telling me they don't think anyone's taking it up the ass on Bourbon Street?
Can you imagine the people in jail? Hey, man, what are you here for? I shot someone. What are you here for? Tax evasion. How about you, Bob? I fucked my wife in the ass.
He's the one that has no one standing around him in the shower, though.
That's a good point. Didn't think about it that way. That's a really good point.
What you do to get in prison? Fuck someone in the ass. Well, shit, that's what we do here. Welcome to Club Med.
Right?
Welcome to paradise.
I wonder in those states, and I know this is a horrible parallel to draw, but
Did you know? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I wonder how many of those states have the legality of gay marriage, but still outlaw sodomy.
Well, gay marriage is legal, period. Because the Supreme Court.
Yeah, in
ruled
every
that.
state it's
Yeah.
legal.
Nationally, it's legal, but you can still have state laws that supersede those of a national law. Absolutely, because the states can control their own laws.
That is not how that works. You
Really?
cannot have a law that contradicts federal mandate. That's why marijuana is such a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Because you have these states that they didn't. Okay, so like when you look at Colorado, California, Oregon, Washington, it's not that marijuana is legal. They're just not going to pay the expenses at the local level to prosecute federal marijuana crimes.
Right, because it's still illegal.
It's still
according to
federally illegal.
Fed laws.
Yes. But the state laws just said it's not that it's legal. They're just not going to prosecute it.
so they've
That's what-
decriminalized it locally.
Exactly.
Huh.
But you can't have a law that supersedes federal.
How are
That's what
they-
the Civil War was fought over. That's
How are
literally what the Civil War was fought over.
How are they able to, in states like, and I know this is completely tangent
Mm-hmm.
and I apologize, but how are they able in states like Colorado, where you have
And
dispensaries,
Nevada.
Yeah.
all these places that have small businesses, how are you able to get a IRS
the
tax
D-
ID?
The DEA can absolutely come in and raid it. IRS will grant anybody a business form. That
They
doesn't
gave me
matter.
one. They gave me one.
Yeah, IRS is
So
going
those-
to. If the IRS has an opportunity to make money, they're going to make money. They're not the enforcement division. DEA is the enforcement, and DEA at any time can legally walk into a dispensary, shut it down, and arrest everyone.
Damn.
But where are they going to hold them? Because they have to use local jails, and the local government said we're not giving any money, any funding, anything to do this. So if you're going to arrest them, you need to fly them out to DC right away. And DC also has decriminalized marijuana. So yeah.
Interesting.
But that's all it is. It's still illegal, technically. They're just not, like, the state of Colorado is not going to spend money to prosecute it.
Leave it to the Twisted 10 to take us from laws about sodomy to smoking weed.
Yep.
Did you put that on your resume? You went to weed college?
I did not. No. I should put my PhD weed degree.
Weed you.
Oh, it's your turn, Andrea. We're done. I'm sorry.
Back to you, Andrea. In the studio.
Number 4,
Cuatro.
Number 4.
prank selling pizza. This one's in Louisiana. The law's origin is 1999.
Oh.
Party like it's 1999.
So the risk of prosecution is $500 fine and 6 months in jail. If you thought it might be funny to order your friend a slice of it must be pizza. It says
Za.
of za.
Yeah.
If you
well, that's, you got to read that like a stoner. Hey man, if you think it's cool to prank your friend with an order of za, yeah.
That sounds like some weird god you pray to. You all praise Zah.
We just prayed to Zah earlier.
All right, so if you think it's funny to order your friend some pizza without them knowing, and think again. In Louisiana, prank selling a pizza or ordering it for a friend to be delivered without their knowledge will get you smacked with a $500 fine. The offender may also have to spend time in jail, make restitution to the victim's family,
What restitution to the victim's
And
family? They
it's
got pizza.
and is subject to any other punishments the court sees fit to the crime. Apparently, the justice system in Louisiana is sadistic. Apparently, the justice system in Louisiana is a...
What happened?
What happened?
Her screen turned off.
You know, this is the only time that I would say don't use your phone during the podcast, but she needs it.
Okay, where were we?
Apparently,
the justice system in Louisiana is a sadistic child pulling the wings off a fly and can't take a joke. All prank calls are considered harassment. End of story.
I want to be there for the criminal hearing because I want to hear the plaintiff say, "Sir, I was sitting in my house and the doorbell rang and there were 50 pizzas and I had to stop fucking my wife in the ass just so I could go answer this. And I feel like I should be compensated for my time and for my loss." I'm sorry, what? I'm under arrest for? The sodomy thing. Okay, I understand. I apologize.
There was pizza brought to my home.
Well, you know what it is? Okay, so here's another stupid law that I know about. Prank calls are another federal crime. Those are all federal communication wires, and if if you curse over the telephone, supposedly that's also considered a misdemeanor.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Because you're cursing over federal airwaves on a phone. Yeah.
No kidding.
Good times. Now, I don't know if cell phones have changed that at all.
I do miss, look, I was a huge fan of the Jerky Boys. Huge fan.
Yeah.
And I miss that ability.
Oh,
to
God. Well, your
do
Jerky
those
Boys
prank
was
calls.
what my generation's crack yankers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what we
yes.
had. Yeah.
I got warts all over my ass and genitalia.
He just sophisticatedly called us old tack.
Yeah.
I
All
want you
right.
to know that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, crank yankers were fun too. We had that old lady. Your parrot keeps calling me a whore. I'm an 85-year-old woman. Believe me, I wish I was a whore.
All right, number 3 is...
Number three.
You got to give us that chance.
It's
baby.
our only
You got-
chance we get to come in.
I stopped.
3.
Three.
Is that enough of a chance?
Yeah.
This one's from Florida.
Trois.
Okay. All right.
You are not allowed to fart after 6 p.m. on Thursday in Florida.
Oh shit!
In public.
Is that why I got a warrant in my mailbox?
When is the cutoff time, though?
6
6
o'clock.
p.m.
6 to what?
Oh, midnight, because at that point it's technically
then it's
Friday.
Okay.
And this is just in public, so you can go home and fart.
Oh.
That's legitimately a law right now on the books, is that you can't fart in public.
That's impossible to enforce in Miami in the 80s because there was some weird shit going on back then.
I've got a little thing. This was an expert. This is written by Dallas McKay, who lived in Florida. This will just kind of give you a little reason to why
Background?
this should be the reason.
Why Thursday? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Only on the East Coast. You see, there are a lot of elderly people in Florida. As we age, we get a tad more gassy. So there's a high level of methane release in Florida as compared to less populated states with a younger median age.
What the fuck?
There is also a prevailing wind that comes off the Atlantic coast that blows across the peninsula. In the evening, as the heat of the day dissipates and cool air comes in from the Atlantic, it causes a strong wind that pushes west. Now, if you have all of the elderly people who are in their digestive wheelhouse around 4:30 p.m. dinner, you have massive concentrations of methane gas. If they were outside, these potentially dangerous clouds of gas would be blown west, endangering the population. An open flame on a particularly breezy evening in Tampa could set off a chain reaction that would set Florida ablaze from Okeechobee to Pensacola. So, yes, it is absolutely forbidden, and rightly so.
But why specifically Thursday? Is that must-see TV? Is that why?
That's when the cafeteria in the mall where the old seniors go, that's the day they serve a lot of starch.
I call bullshit just because there's not a lawmaker in the state of Florida that is smart enough to come up with something that stupid. None.
I like it.
Looking at you, Rick Scott.
I like the story. The supporting story is not that scientific, but it's still
That's all
entertaining.
kinds of scientific. Did you not hear all those scientific words?
Hey, to top on
Prevailing.
Dissipate.
Wind.
West.
to go on top of this a little
West.
bit, there is something that we all can do as humans, as the predominant species on this planet, to help to stop global warming. Like it or not, the greenhouse gases that are emitted by certain types of factories.
Excuse me, sir. Global warming is a myth. The flat earthers have told me so.
There is one particular animal, technically two, that we can kill that would eliminate the majority of all methane gas produced. This is actual science. This isn't made up.
To a cow?
Cockroach.
Cow is number
Termite.
3 on the list.
Blue whale.
Oh, I think she's right.
Termites.
Yeah, that's right. I have heard
Yes.
We've been trying to kill termites for years. Don't you know? Haven't you
Yep.
seen the Truly Nolan trucks rolling around?
All of those trillions and trillions of little termite farts are what cause more methane even than humans can produce. It goes termites, then humans, then cows, as far as the contributions in the U.S. to methane
Actually,
gas.
number 1 would be Adam. Then
not
termite.
on Thursdays after 6, though. I look,
Only
I'm a
inside, not in
law-abiding
public.
citizen.
Not in
Yes,
public.
Not in public.
Number 2.
Dose.
Number 2.
In Kentucky, a woman is forbidden to wear a bathing suit on a highway unless she is armed with a club or is escorted by at least 2 officers. The amendment says that the provisions of this statute shall not apply to a female weighing less than 90 pounds or exceeding 200 pounds.
Nice.
So we don't want any biggins or any real
fatties.
skinny. No fatties, no skinnies. We just want them voluptuous women that we gonna protect. The rest of y'all go ahead and wear whatever you want. Ain't nobody gonna rape you anyway. That's what that rule was written for.
So they have to carry a club?
To protect themselves.
That is a very ass backwards way to prevent rape.
Unless you're fat or
all
skinny.
that is.
Jay, you just nailed this. What this was a rape case way back in the 1920s or something that probably happened, and the guy said, look, she was walking down the highway in a bikini. She was asking for it. You know what, Bob? You're right. We're going to make a law that says they can't do that.
Unless they got a club, so that way when they say no, they can hit you with it.
Oh, my God.
Or 2 officers.
Sure.
Yeah.
What if the 2 officers are also women that fit that certain range?
As long as they're not wearing a bathing suit.
Well, no, and they're in bathing
What
suits.
if they are? Yeah.
Then
but they're
they
officers.
need to
But
be
then
escorted out.
they need 2 officers, and then they need 2 officers.
I like where this
and
is
then
going.
they tell 2
So
friends,
then the
and they
whole
tell
place
2
is gonna be
friends.
full
I like
of
it.
bathing suit girls walking down the highway getting raped. This
I like
is
it.
horrible.
I don't like the rape part, but I like the girls walking in bathing suit part.
Yeah.
The ones exceeding 200 pounds?
Yeah,
No.
not so much, but that's...
The ones
To each
weighing
his own.
less than 90 pounds?
Yeah, definitely not for me. I would rather go for the
Who
200
wants anyone
plus.
that weighs less than 90 pounds?
Nobody.
That's going to be a child or
Why is Tack
someone
raising his
very ill.
hand? He's raising his hand,
That's his elbow.
but he's saying
my
no.
elbow.
Yeah, because that's all that it would
No.
look.
That's disgusting.
Nobody else? Oh, not me. No, me neither.
So 91 pounds too much for you.
91, you fat bitch. Get away from me.
You need to be your birth weight
heard of a
before I get
gym?
you.
She's 91 pounds, Tack, but she's carrying a club, so yeah, she's all right.
Number 1,
Number
Uno.
1.
sex toys.
Ooh, I like it.
Some people drive across state lines for fireworks, cheaper booze, and sex toys. In Alabama, it's illegal to sell any device designed or marketed as useful primarily for the stimulation of human genital organs. Even crazier, the law isn't some relic. It was passed in 1998.
That's
They
some,
can't sell sex toys?
that's some senator who
What?
walked in on his wife with a dildo.
Yeah.
A lot of neck massagers getting sold in those Targets.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Well, I can't go get my hair done because the bitch fucking whistles and hums all day. I gotta be able to do something with my time.
I know that the lady living in Birmingham, Alabama, was a retiree from Binghamton, Long Island,
What state is that? What state's that in?
Alabama.
It's Alabama.
Of course, it's a Bible Belt. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's a good point.
No other
That's not
place.
the Bible Belt.
Alabama is not the Bible Belt.
No.
How low waisted is your Bible
I
Belt?
thought the Bible Belt was right down the middle.
Nope, because I've
No.
proven that to you in the past. Georgia's part of the Bible Belt, too.
Yeah, Alabama, Georgia,
Then what
Louisiana.
kind of fucking
Basically,
belt is this?
it's a wide one. It's a
Basically,
fat,
I-10.
Yeah, we're fat countries.
That
yeah,
looks
especially
more like an L than.
all those countries that you named. All those countries. All those states that you named earlier for that one. Oh, what was that one law?
I thought the Bible
this-
state was like Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas.
No, it's a belt because it goes all the way across.
Is it I-10? Is that the belt?
Essentially,
Doesn't
I-10,
exactly look
yeah,
like a
I-10,
belt.
I-10 and I-20.
That doesn't look like a
That's
belt on the screen.
expanding. It's changing every time, all the time.
No,
Florida?
that's
It's
essentially
getting
it.
bigger. Go Jesus, take
It's-
over the United States.
It's literally the Mason-Dixon line up into mid-Texas. Like Austin is where the Bible Belt stops because Austin is its own place.
That was a belt talking about where the highest outbreak of diabetes was in the United States.
Fantastic.
Ironically, the same
Also
as
the
the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Tornado Alley.
You're thinking tornado.
Now
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking.
Is that all those states that had laws against sodomy? That was essentially the Bible Belt.
Yes. And so Florida is like 3 different states in one. You have South Florida, which is mostly a Latin influence.
Yeah, anything south of Hollywood Boulevard, you're just in Cuba.
Central Florida, which is all the tourists and gray hairs. And then North Florida, which is basically just South Georgia.
Yeah,
You have 3 different states in Florida. There's no question about that.
yeah. It's kind of like you can either drive cross country or drive from Miami to Jacksonville.
Yep.
She's still looking. She's looking at all the
focusing.
maps on the screen, trying
Why
to figure
is
out.
it called a belt?
That's a great question.
Because
it does not resemble a
because
belt.
no one in those states wears a belt.
Oh. That's a great list, though. Good job.
It was.
Fantastic. That was the best list I've ever heard.
Best list ever, Andrea
That's
Joy.
just because you liked the pizza I bought y'all before you listened.
She knows what she's doing. You want to make your list more memorable in here? Bring us some food first. Guys, very good job. Well, cool deal. Let's.
Yay, never have to do it again.
You have at least a good 6 months before you have to be up again. Don't worry. We gotta get another one out of Jay. Just saying.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we should schedule that one here soon. All right. Well, where can our listeners find you, Andrea?
Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa. We are located on US 1, just north of 528.
Why is that a
Why do you
question?
keep pausing?
I couldn't remember where it was for a minute.
Oh,
So come on down, and if you mention the Twisted 10, I'll give you 20% off your first service.
Damn, 20%. What do I get? 20%?
20% of a blowjob?
Oh, that's a little disappointing. But
wait.
not
Is
on
that what I
Thursday-
get too?
Not on Thursdays after 6.
Yeah, 20% off a blowjob.
Oh.
Blow out, blow out, blow out.
Oh.
Man, those words are hard.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's not the only thing that's hard.
Giggity. All right, Jay.
Well, oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
The
No.
joke's past.
That's
Move on.
illegal in Florida. Never mind.
expand
I'm
on
sorry. Sorry, Uncle Sam. Man, I almost got myself in trouble.
Jay, where can they find you? Where can our listeners find you?
I am going to be slanging Yuck Yucks on September 8th at Hogan's Irish Bar in Cocoa Beach. That will be a tumbleweed show hosted by Ross McCoy, a couple of other
Nice.
Tom and Dan favorites out there. It's going to be a fun time. Come out, say hi, have a beer.
That's awesome.
And yeah, let's
Is Big Tim
let's have some
part
fun.
of that? Is he going to do it?
I
with
do
you?
believe Big Tim is on the lineup. Yeah.
So you, Ross McCoy, Big Tim, and maybe a couple of other Tom and Dan style comics on that. That's
You
going to
know-
be a lot of fun.
You know what? Give me 2 seconds, and I'll actually
Sure.
tell you who's on this lineup right now.
By the way,
Yep.
while Jay's looking for that, Tom and Dan have both accepted to come over and host a combined Twisted 10. They're going to do one together.
Nice, nice.
So yeah,
Is
that's
that the
When's that
Twisted
gonna happen?
20?
no, it's going to be Twisted 10, but it's going to be Tom and Dan's Twisted 10. It's
Tom
not on
and
the books
Dan's
yet,
Twisted 10. It almost
Gotcha.
rhymed.
but
All right.
we've been
Tom
emailing
and
back and
Dan's
forth.
Twisted 10.
All right, so yeah, the lineup for the Tumbleweed Comedy Show, hosted by Ross McCoy, featuring the talents of Blair Baker, David Jolly, Darius D. Rugg Boston, Duncan J., Fritz Pierre, Javaris Temple, yours truly, Jay Alvarez, Joshua Pinkman Fowler.
Oh, wow.
Friend of the show, Ray Brito, will also be there.
Goddamn.
Ryan Holmes and Sabrina Ambra, and I do believe Big Tim Murphy was recently added after the flyer came out.
Sabrina from
Yes.
the News Junkie, Sabrina?
Is that her last name?
I think so.
Sabrina Ambra? Yeah. And yes, Big Tim Murphy is in fact on the lineup as well.
Fuck yeah. That's a hell of a good show.
That's gonna be a hell of a good time.
95%
Nice.
of those comics.
Yeah.
That's going to be a cool show. God damn. I'll cut that 95% out. Don't worry.
No, that's accurate.
You just didn't say who the 5% was, and it's fine.
Yeah. No. I'll never say that.
No, everybody that's in your 5% thinks they're not on that 5%, so it's good.
Tach, where can our listeners find you?
Why are you asking like that?
I don't know. On Tinder, maybe? Grinder? No, I'm just kidding.
They can find me on another podcast called Living Vicariously.
Nice plug.
And they can also catch me on YouTube singing some stuff. I got another one getting ready to come out, a new one.
Another Slipknot cover?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Just finished it, getting ready to post probably next week. And they can also find me on another podcast called Taint Funny.
Is that rebooting? I saw Johnny made a post about Taint Funny reuniting to...
That was my post.
Was it yours? I thought
Yep.
Johnny made that post.
Nope.
Are you guys
And,
officially getting together to do it?
We recorded this morning.
You recorded? No shit?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Awesome.
yep.
That's cool. One show or a whole bunch?
Just one. We're going to do one a month.
One a month.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
That's
now.
fair.
Yeah, for now.
And also go check out Pops On, which is Jay's podcast.
Oh yeah, we got caught up on that Tumbleweed show. Yeah, find me on Pops On. We are available on Libsyn, Google Play, and iTunes, as well as TuneIn Radio and Stitcher. That's a lot. Raul gets mad at me when I forget them.
Well, you guys need to get your Pops On added to the podcast radio network with John Sweeney as well. That gets a ton of listens.
Yeah,
for
no.
all of us.
When we nail, we think we got pretty much nailed down. We're actually going to be debuting. I'll announce it here. We're debuting a new logo this week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, that'll be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a whole, not a rebranding per se, because it's the same show, but as far as like logos and stuff, we're excited. We got some good stuff that we're about to share.
We did a new logo. Did you add it to the show?
I haven't put it. What are you talking about? Just the one that we did for the mugs?
Well, no, the one that me and Andrew had completed. And
I didn't know you guys had finished it yet. No, send it to me and we'll
Oh,
of
put
course
is
you
it.
did.
oh,
You
it's
even did a
published.
post about it.
Oh, was this a silhouette image of the picture of them 69ing?
Yes,
Is that
that's
okay.
exactly what it is. Yes. No, if I need a high resolution copy of that Tach so I can put it up to up on Libsyn so I can make it out to all the different locations. If that's the same one I
Yeah.
think you're talking about, yes, I just need a high res copy.
Well,
That's it.
you did a post about saying, "Hey, good job on the new logo and all that kind of stuff."
Well, I forgot doing that, but I need a high res image.
I've given it to you. It's in the Dropbox.
Really?
It's like 1400 by 1400. or
By
whatever.
the time this comes out, the logo will be up there. You're talking about for Living Vicariously, right? Or Twisted?
Oh yeah, living by.
I'm just
Kirsten.
excited he knows who I am every morning.
You know who the fuck are you? You know I have bad memory.
It's like the Adam Sandler movie, 1,000
Oh, yeah,
51st
50
Dates.
50 First Dates. Yeah.
I had a girl do that one night when I was spending the night with her, and in the middle of the night she woke up and forgot I was there and flipped out.
Really?
I woke up one night and she goes, she's like moving in bed, and I kind of moved a little bit too, and she goes, "What the fuck?" And she's like flipped out. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" She's like, "Oh."
Don't you remember we just did that after you drank that drink I put some powder in? Come on.
Oh my God.
Jesus,
All
man.
right, so-
Jesus, holy
If
shit.
you want to find us on Twitter, you can follow us at Twisted10. You can email us at thetwisted10@gmail.com.
She got sex
Also on
and free
Instagram.
drugs?
Follow us on Instagram. at
Andrea would be the one.
Twisted10. I told you I don't like. Oh fuck!
Good
I
times
fucked
with
up the
Pat.
joke.
If you enjoy the show, also go give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. That goes way further than you can imagine. It is literally podcast currency for us to be able to legitify
It's like
ourselves to our
Bitcoin.
sponsors.
It's like Bitcoin.
It is kind of like, but nothing.
Podcoin.
but nothing like Podcoin. Ooh, we should brand that.
Hashtag
Podcoin?
Podcoin.
Oh, pod. Oh, my bad.
Podcoin.
I was like, I think that's a thing in Colorado.
It's the new green kind of currency.
The new greenback.
Where are you going to be, Jay? Or Jay? Hey, Jay. Where are you going to be?
I'll be right here.
I'm going to be at a job fair this week, hopefully getting my own position back. The company I work for lost its contract, and
Are you unemployed
not to go into
right now?
details. No, I'm still working. I still
okay.
have the same job, but if I get to maintain my same position, I'll just be doing the same job for a different company. That's all.
I gotcha.
Yep, very interesting, very fun. Not really, but
I was about to say, I think we need to buy you a thesaurus.
yeah, exactly. I don't know my antonyms and my synonyms very
That
well.
sounds good.
But Is she picking on me, Tach? We're going to get out of here.
Very random and just funny.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the Twisted 10, I am Adam.
I'm Tach.
I'm Andrea Joy.
I'm Jay Alvarez.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
I'm ready.
Here on our show.
I'm hot and ready too.
Hey, before we get started, I want to throw some love over to the folks out in Texas. I know we've got some listeners in Texas.
My sister Leslie, love you. Out in Katy.
Yep, damn right. We've got actually a friend of mine. His name's Ben. He lives in Corpus Christi, so right on the south end of where that hurricane hit.
Yeah.
So that Category 4 hurricane tore apart Galveston, Corpus Christi, those areas in Texas. If you know someone or you have a little bit of extra ability to give, American Red Cross is a pretty good location to give some donations to. So for our listeners, if you're able, please go out there, hook American Red Cross up with with a donation. Or if you know another charitable foundation out there, send it our way and we'll talk about it on the air. But please remember your folks out in Texas. They're suffering through some hellacious floods after that horrible storm that tore them apart. So
Indeed.
giving our love back to Texas. All right, Miss Andrea Joy.
All right, let's just get right down to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 10.
Number
Yes.
10.
This one comes from Massachusetts. It is illegal to enjoy an alcoholic drink while standing. This is in Woburn, Massachusetts. They will simply not tolerate vertical intoxication. According to the city's license commission, no restaurant is allowed to serve an alcoholic beverage to a person who isn't seated. Patrons are not permitted to carry booze or consume it unless they're firmly planted to the chair. Exceptions are made for businesses that are granted a special approved standing license.
Wow.
That's got to be like sports
Interesting.
bars on like Sunday or something.
I was gonna say, what about at a concert when you're out watching a band in a festival setting or something
That
like
would probably be that exception.
That would be that special license.
Man, I only drink my beer.
You don't want to say that. There's too many tiki torches over there. But
Gives a whole new expression to the term rawhide.
Yeah, we should.
God,
Let's.
I got a joke out of him.
You know, I got you.
One of my dad jokes that worked on Jay.
Well, let's be sensitive to Texas today because they're.
I was just planning a vacation with Adam there.
Oh yeah.
Is that why you booked those tickets? All right, now I know.
All right, number 8.
Ocho.
Number 8.
This is New Hampshire.
Ooh.
You can't help clean up the White Mountain National Forest without a fine. Keep this in mind if you want to help clean up the White Mountain National Forest in our state. You cannot rake the beaches, pick up litter, haul away trash, or make other changes there without a permit. Those caught violating this particular rule may be fined $150 for maintaining the national forest without a permit.
So you can't pick up
What?
trash.
You can't pick up
What if
trash.
it's your own trash?
No.
But wait,
What's
if it's
the fine to litter though?
You will be fined for maintaining the national forest without a permit.
hold on, but how can the state issue a fine on a national forest where the state has no jurisdiction? That's why you have forest rangers. Like that's federal jurisdiction.
Dun dun dun.
Come on, New Hampshire, you guys are the first ones to get the votes in. You don't know this shit?
Isn't New Hampshire where our friend Clay from Fish Nerds
I believe.
is from? Wasn't that the state that he was from?
I think so.
Believe so.
He's-
a lot of good
Yeah,
fly
because
fishing
I
out there.
asked him about the drinking law over there because I got 86 for having 2 beers. Yeah.
By the way, he listens to every episode of the Twisted 10.
I'm
So
sure he'll be glad to
Clay
hear
from
that.
the Fish Nerds, we're giving you a shout out and a plug bell.
All right.
I like how everything I say has a whole new segment about not what I said. It's like you're all
Sitting over on the lady chase.
hi, this is Andrea Joy, and I'm never doing a list again, so I can't do the list.
Well, somebody's doing the fucking
what
list.
if instead of doing a list, I expanded on one I've already done? Say a
part
part
two?
do.
We haven't done a part 2 yet.
Hot Shots Part Ducks? Is that what we're watching? Oh, Charlie Sheen was so sexy. This is when he had the tiger blood in him.
So since Tach enjoyed it so much, the first time is actually my very, very first list I ever did.
Ooh.
So
which
this
was
will
that?
be Strange Laws in Existence Part 2.
Oh, yes.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, sorry. So for the listeners that are new to I almost did it anyway.
Blah, blah, blah.
The listeners that are new to the Twisted 10 is a top 10 list podcast. Each week, one of our hosts that are one of the 4 of us you just heard, or a guest host that comes in from the outside, brings their own unique top 10 list. and as Tach would say, they put some butter
Yeah.
on it. Then they put it in the oven and they let it bake on a good 425 for
No.
17
No.
hours.
Let's slow bake it down to
That's
like
gonna burn
slow
it.
bake it.
250. Let's do 250.
250 degrees.
Yeah.
And then it gets soft and moist, and then when it's served, it's fantastic. Right? Is that
Crunchy on the
kind of how you do
outside,
it?
soft and warm on the middle.
It's better than I do.
Sounds like my
but-
ex-wife.
I kind of like you beat the batter, and then you lay it in. You bake it for 9 months at 98.6 degrees. Rotate halfway for even coverage, and then in 13 years it resents you.
Yes, but anyway, and then the list is delivered to you guys.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10. Yeah! I was about to say there's no response. It's kind of a lackluster intro. I'm Adam. I'm one of your regular hosts. However, I don't have the hosting responsibility tonight.
Nice. I'm Tach. I too do not also wait. I don't have what? What are you trying to tell me, Adam?
I wasn't trying to tell you anything.
No, you're trying. No, I'm just kidding. I also am not the host tonight.
All right.
So
Sitting over in the big recliner
yes,
tonight.
I knew that's what you were doing.
What's up? It's Jay Alvarez. I God, I really hope I'm not the host tonight. Thanks. I mean, I can go find another couple of vagabonds out on the street and bring them in.
You have a good ability to pull in people from the street that just want to hop on mic.
I don't know that that's a good thing I want to brag about, but I'll take it.
Surprisingly, usually when you do that, they're talented and they want to play music and stuff for us.
Well, you know, they come to me like a messiah.
We don't have anybody up on the screen tonight
So that means
standing, but I drink it with the Captain Morgan pose. So
You know, it is that, you know, Massachusetts, right? Yeah, so that's all that Boston. That's all them Irish people. It's a lot harder to fight when you're already laying down.
kind of like Conor McGregor, Irish, getting his.
Hey, man.
go.
I'm look.
Oh, there they go. There they go.
I don't give a good goddamn about who won that fight. I will say though, McGregor went 10 rounds. That's like 10 rounds longer than I thought he was going to last.
I'll agree with that. I thought for sure he was going to knock out round 2 for sure.
So I will give it to him, and then we will bring Andrea and Tach back into the conversation because we're done talking about sports.
Huh? What happened?
A couple guys were arguing yesterday.
I think in the state of Florida it's illegal to talk about sports on a podcast called Living Podcarously because half the hosts don't know anything about sports.
Well, the
What
good thing this is
sports?
called Twisted Tens.
Is that something
We won't- it's all right. We weren't
God damn it!
talking about sports anyway. We were talking about the sweet science.
If this is my show, why are we talking about sports?
Get 'em.
Right?
The sweet science. The sweet science.
I mean, get me.
Number 9.
Nueve.
nine.
Can I say that I love It's Us hosting it because we actually have time to do this?
Yes.
All right.
This one's from Texas.
Yeehaw.
Forget the wedding. In Texas, you can be considered legally married by publicly announcing a person as your wife/husband by saying it 3 times. Beetlejuice would be proud.
No shit.
Yeah, Texas is one of the few places where common law marriage is still a thing too.
That didn't sound like common law though. That sounded like a statement.
It's not like witchcraft.
That is stalking taken to a whole other degree.
Yeah, agreed. So, so for example, here, if we were in Texas now and I wanted to marry Tach, all I'd have to say is Tach is my husband. Tach is my husband. Tach is my
No,
husband.
because gay marriage is still not a thing in Texas.
Not
Yeah,
you gotta be careful in Texas, everybody.